so we were in here on Saturday and kind of made a little bit of a oopsie. So we went and got, well, I went and bought a shit ton of the instant absorber. We're going to be taking care of that stuff. This needs to be out of here by Friday. This one I want done this week. We're just waiting on some PB Blaster, and those rags still said that they aren't showing up. So that's kind of been getting frustrating because I could start cleaning some of this up. So we're going to start getting some of this cleaned up. We need to get Josh's truck done, and then this one we need to get the trans in. I got all the AC lines and the AC condensers so that we can fix all of that. I still haven't gotten the batteries out. I know, I've been lazy. But I need to get the AC and whatnot. So we went and got lines for the back of the compressor and all the way. So we got every single one of them up to this boy right here. So this we're not going to worry about. Yeah, so other than that, if anybody wants, there will be stuff available on this. I need to take trash, do all this and that. We got the 12-valve motor out if anybody needs one. Now, we are working on some updates on the website. It's a bunch of good stuff that's going to save stuff. So a lot of it, we're going to be fixing this truck and that truck with a lot of the parts that we get. Unfortunately, bed is not salvageable. The cab is not salvageable. It's really bad. So we're just slow and steady, kind of working, doing what I need to do. I got to get this master cylinder off because that I need to ship. Hood, I've had a few bites on, but basically the same stuff. So I'm going to keep continuing to work. I just figured I'd give you guys a little bit of an update. And yeah, now I'm going to have to lift this heavy can, put it in the back here because we got to go burn later. All right, you guys remember this thing. So we got the new one in, got the lines back in, all that stuff. Just fighting this guy right here. That's been fun. The one drill bit I have in the shop, I gotta order more. I just ordered, you know, a bunch of Zep and a bunch of other stuff for like the mess cleanups and whatnot. So hopefully we'll be driving this thing out of here soon. Once this is on, you can see that nice new friggin' bolts right there. Yeah. I want to drill through that later and put a nut on the other end because you can see there's no way to access the inside, so that's going to be fun. I already did the thing on the front, if you guys can see it. Friggin', there's a nut and a bolt, comes the whole way through. I'm going to do the same thing on this one eventually, because I don't know if this will hold 100% when it has a full tank of fuel in it. It's empty right now. It hasn't moved, but I don't want to have any issues with it. Alright, so all the PB Blasters should be here tomorrow. I ordered an entire case of it. 15 pack, so we have that on order, should, like I said, tomorrow night. So we're doing the short throw shifter now. So you can see this is what was on it from the other short throw shifter. And he ordered a second short throw shifter from someone completely different. So as you can see, it's literally the exact same kit. There's the isolator, there's that. So this is short throw shifter kit number 1. We're gonna set that aside. And this is what they give you on number 2. So you're supposed to gut a factory one. You can see right here. The only thing is, I'm not sure exactly how to get this off. It sounds a bunch of rubbery in there. So that's been kind of a cluster. But you have to get this off in order to get all of this off. So because this, you're supposed to reuse all of that. So here's the 3 shims. They go on top of there. There's this. This bolts back on top. This is a factory one, and then this is the short throw shifter. You put it inside, so you can see the difference here. The short throw shifter is going to be longer on that side, giving you a shorter throw. So we're figuring that out now. They give you some ultra gray gasket for the isolator. So this short throw shifter, I don't know what we're going to do with yet. It's that one's ass, but according to him, these things are worth money. All right, something I never had to do. So it actually screws on to this. So now we're able to pull all of this off. That one's shot, so I'm gonna use the one from the short throw, the other short throw, because you can see that's kind of ass, and he needs nice new stuff. So trying to get Josh to do nice new stuff in here, but so like I was saying, this is a factory one. You compare these two, set them side by side, See how short that is and long that is? So they basically take short, long, short, long. So now we will put that in the factory base. Doesn't matter which way you do it. All right, so this is much better. So you guys will see first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then reverse. I didn't realize this is for a G56, but yeah, that's a lot better. So new boot, new all that, everything nice. So now we figure out how to mount the center console. All right, Josh hasn't seen it yet, but there we go. He has a nice little console there. It's all mounted. Everything's good. There's screws in there. Screwed all down. He just needs to get the cup holder thingies, but look at that nice little console. Now I gotta figure something out with this. This is Josh's way of shutting his truck off. Yeah. We gotta figure that out. Alright, so I had to fire it up. I just put another solenoid on Josh's truck. He wanted me to put a mechanical solenoid on it. Or a mechanical thing, right? I was like, absolutely not, right? So we put a new one on. He said he put a new one on, and he said he couldn't get the adjustment right. So what I'm thinking is, obviously, I had my wife in here just now. She cranked it for me. And the solenoid, even this one, does not pull up until you manually put it up. So it's not a solenoid problem. So everybody that said we need to get a new solenoid, even I was one of those people, let's get a new solenoid. It's not the solenoid. Something in the wiring is bad. So I now have the pleasure of having to diagnose that. That sucks. So worst case scenario, what I think we could do is just run a wire down to the starter where the ignition source is at. But that's pretty much where we're at. The truck shuts off perfectly fine. It does, pull all the way up. You know what? Let's verify it. I'll show you guys. If I turn the key on, we will come down here and we'll pull this up. That's the max position. Let's go compare it on this other motor over here. That second gen chime is annoying. Like I said, we have another motor here. So let's where is it? Over there. And it looks about the same. So that's the shut off. That's the full. So that's the problem we have. I also went and fixed his oil dipstick, because for the longest time this has been broken. So we got another one, and it actually stays in place where it's supposed to. I have it mounted. I saved an upper hose for him as well. Will not start without getting that fixed. So if you guys want your fires to last forever, this has been going for almost 2 hours now. And it was just a simple thing of trash. Throw like 3 or 4 gallons of diesel on the bottom. It's just now hitting the diesel. And that motherfucker has not stopped burning since I think 3 o'clock. And we're almost at 5 o'clock now, so I'm about to dump. I'm gonna let it burn for a couple minutes now that I can hear the diesel boiling down there. But after that, I'm gonna throw some water on it, and we'll try again for next time. You can hear it boiling. Alright, next day, it's I think Tuesday, just about 9. We got like 15 minutes. So you guys see that barrel back there, right? So you went and burned yesterday, and I soaked the hell out of it in water because it just wouldn't stop burning. It was like 2 hours, and it just kept going. You guys remember I threw a little bit of diesel fuel from that black truck in there, and needless to say, if you want a fire to just go, just throw some diesel fuel at it. Like, it's such a slow burn. So that's not the problem. The problem is I ended up like dousing it in water to get it to go out, and I sat there and doused it for a good 10 minutes, and I like dumped a ton of water in it, all right? And here we go. I go down the mountain and the thing decides to reignite. So I'm going down the mountain with a freaking 6-foot flame coming out the back of this, that barrel back there. Just like, oh shit. So I had to pull over. If you guys notice, my, yeah, I don't know if you can see it back there. My fire extinguisher's gone. I had to unload the entire fire extinguisher into that barrel. So it was all contained and everything. It's just, I didn't really want to be driving around with a flame shooting out the back of my truck. Yeah, you see that? It sucks, but it is what it is. So we're heading to the shop. We are gonna finish up Josh's truck minus the rear diff. If anybody knows anybody that can take care of this rear diff, I did see there was another comment. Somebody else did the same thing and it can't get it to seal for some reason. We have new everything. It didn't leak before until Josh threw his drive shaft, and then now it's just been a bitch to get this thing to reseal. Third gens are not this problematic. Second gens, if anybody has any clue, we are located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Don't know why, cannot get the thing to seal at all. Like, it leaks a small amount, so it's not leaking a ton, but it's still like, we need to get that addressed. So somebody let me know on that. So we're heading down there. I'm gonna get the wiring done, and then his truck's pretty much 99% complete minus that. And then he can pick that up. We should have the trans this week for turquoise, so we can get that out of there this week. And then we're still waiting on some PB blaster. Is that a cop? Seriously? We're still waiting on some PB blaster for the. I got distracted by the cop. Still got some PB blaster. I need to get some PB blaster for the black truck, so that should be done this week as well. So I'd like to get everything done, running, driving, out of the shop. And then the white truck, oh yeah, we'll have a clear shop 100% over the weekend. So just want to get every project that we have in the shop out, collect our pay. We should have a good, I don't know, I'd like to see 6-7 grand by the end of the week. And then we can start fresh on Monday. So if anybody needs anything, cpstevemiller.com. So I have a whole case of this coming tonight. I got one just so that I can do that because the brake lines want to twist. I bought that. That was a $50 bit, and new fire extinguisher because having to unload the other one, which, yeah. I didn't film it for legal reasons. I was not going to film myself committing. I don't know what that would have been, to be honest. Throw that in there. Here's the new one. That was a $50 mistake, but you know, it is what it is. You don't learn by not making mistakes. Look at that nice new unit. Nice new stand that we're not going to use. I forgot it actually comes with one, but I'll throw that in the trash. Trash is right there. We'll bring that down. Now we got our nice new one mounted. She ain't going anywhere. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that mess. Also, somebody threw a freaking cup, a metal cup in here. I don't know who did that. I'm gonna blame my wife. But there's a tail light. Oh yeah. Looks like diarrhea, but it's not. How that rubber didn't burn, I don't know. That sucked. Got poo-poo looking stuff on my hand. Alright, so that bit did it. We were able to get that all out, and even were able to save the old clip. And you'll see this fits in there perfectly. So we have that saved. Now we're just trying to break this guy free. That thing is so rotted on there, it will not spin. So I've already pre-soaked all the bolts there, because we are going to have to take this down to throw the lift kit in. Everything is tight here. Everything is good. So basically I just screwed this into this, and then this, while this was off, I just spun it in, got it tight, bent it back into place. Everything's good. So I've been fighting it. I have it under pressure right now. Hopefully that breaks it free. Over time, I have it soaked, and even though they were new brake lines, I guess the outer is what rotted to it. This isn't fun. I mean, this thing's rotting away before your eyes, guys. Come on. All right, we're going through and diagging it. Here's the relay. I have a spare one over here. So if you notice, 86 has continuity to the solenoid, and then I had the guide on my phone. The other one has continuity to ground. We're trying to do continuity to the starter right now, but I figured I'd plug a new one of these in to verify if it's the relay or not. So I'm gonna film it and start cranking. Well, you guys saw it. It did not move, so it is not the relay. So we have a wiring problem. All right, so if you can hear the beep, which I doubt you can, we have continuity to the starter. I was hoping that it was as simple as like no continuity to the starter. You guys will see how I did that. Just zip tie it. All right, I found out what's wrong. There is no power where there's supposed to be power. So that would make sense as to why when I short those two to pull the relay up, or pull the, shut-off solenoid up, it does not. You guys know what that means. I gotta figure out why. So there should be a fuse somewhere we have to verify. I gotta figure out where it's at, or if it's in here. Ugh. Oh well. Alright, so at least we know there's no power to that, and that's supposed to be live. So now we just gotta follow it and figure out where it's at. Alright, we figured it out. So you guys can see from there right into the positive. Voila. So that's supposed to be live all times, and then there's like some intricate circuitry. One goes for the radio, which I noticed that solenoid's never gonna work because his radio doesn't work. So there must be a fuse somewhere. For some reason it's tied into that and the ignition switch. It's live all the time, but on top of that circuit, the radio feeds off of it, and the ignition switch on the off position feeds off of it. Redo the wiring for him. I'm gonna try to make it as nice as possible. Give him a nice little fusible link. Go from there. So you can see the thickness of the wire. I'm gonna try to match that. Make it good. So here's where we're at. We added in a link. Rather than just cutting it and leaving the wire in there, I left the factory circuit, but I did add a power wire that runs up, and we have fused right to the battery. So let's see how good of a job we did. If we did a good job, see if she starts. And she shuts off. So there you go, Josh. So she runs, she drives. There's one other thing I was supposed to do to this thing. I cannot remember what it is, so I'm gonna have to go back on my list. But between the rear end, if somebody can help us figure that out, we need to get this rear end sealed. And oh, that's right, I need to extend the wire harness for the reverse lights because we don't have reverse lights right now. All right, before we move on to the next thing, I give her a good little drive around the parking lot. I'm gonna go park it up in the spot, make sure the transmission is shifting the way it's supposed to. Well, she starts. So it idles low right now, but it comes up once it's warm. There we go. There it is. These keep changing color for some reason. Shift's way better. Alright, we're gonna put her in spot 5. It's kind of hard to tell which spot's mine, but you know, it is what it is. right, so when Josh gets here on Wednesday, let's see if we did a good job. Shuts right off. So when Josh gets here on Wednesday, he will have a factory working truck, and he will be the one to be able to give you guys a test ride in it. And like I said, if one of you guys want to help out, figure that rear diff out. We're also going to be installing the aux beam light bar somewhere. He wants to do it on the front bumper. I don't think that makes sense. I like how Hotshot Benny did it, and he put his like right back behind. So I liked his idea. But there you go. Little red dually is... she's done for the most part. We'll up the boost once we see where it's at. Extend the sensor, and let me make sure. Dude, these second gen doors, let me make sure, I want to pop the hood, make sure everything is you know, nothing's on fire, because we did just do a bunch of work to it. So I think I did a pretty clean install for the most part. Hopefully it's a temporary and we can actually figure out what's wrong with it, but again, it's Josh, so we're just trying to, I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as possible. But at the same time, doesn't need to be perfect, which I'm trying to make everything perfect, because I mean, I fixed this. Now he has a fuel shutoff solenoid that actually works. You guys have been bitching about that thing forever. I know, I've been too. And this, we're gonna revamp this eventually. This was just an idea to see if it would work, but everything's good. I don't see any leaks from the injectors, so we'll let him drive it when he gets back. The only thing that bothers the shit out of me is this keeps falling out of place and touching the turbo. That's supposed to stay up in there, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, we got this guy installed. You guys can see the bolt goes down in there. I did try to pry it out right there to simulate weight on it, and it didn't go anywhere. So, see in there, a lot of bullshit. Not fun, but this line is in, it's mounted. I just gotta get this line. That's the only thing we're fighting. Once that's on, bam. Rear suspension should be relatively simple, but yeah, this has been a fight every step of the way. All right, we're gonna call it here. If you guys need anything, feel free to use the website. This truck is done, minus lift. We're gonna work on that tomorrow, and then this thing is out of here. So he's gonna bring fuel, and then he's gonna drive it out. He wants to do some burnouts and whatnot in the shop, so I guess we'll do something, but it's gonna be on Friday is when he's coming. So we're done. I'm gonna do a whole dedicated video on getting this truck done, because this one I wanna get done this week. We're just waiting on the trans, so I gotta pull the clutch, inspect and verify. We're gonna be throwing AC in this and whatnot, so we're gonna get this thing all cleaned out. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video. Later.